Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'll be sharing my experience with pain relief during labour. Before we start, I want to let you know that I'll link the NHS website where it talks about all the different labour pain relief options in the description box. And also bear in mind that everyone has a different story and different preferences during their labour. So I was originally booked in for a planned C-section, however things changed at the very last minute and I ended up having a vaginal birth. I didn't use much pain relief during my labour, honestly. I used mainly paracetamols to cope with the pain until I got to the pushing stage of labour, and that's when I had the pethidine injection. I did try gas and air for a little bit, however that made me feel very sick, I was gagging, and in my eyes that just made things worse during a contraction, so I didn't use it for very long at all. My midwife did offer me an epidural at one point, which I did refuse because, to be honest, I'd kind of made a deal with myself that I'd only have an epidural if it was completely necessary. An epidural was the pain relief that I was very cautious about having done, and a one that was definitely something that I would have done, but only as a last straw type thing. And this may sound slightly strange to some people, but although giving birth is painful, I really wanted to feel exactly what it was like, and I wanted to feel exactly what I was putting my body through. I wanted to have, I guess you could call it a raw experience, and me choosing to feel as much pain as I could tolerate gave me that experience. It's really amazing what the body goes through in order to bring life into the world. And to be honest, my thought process with it was, how am I supposed to truly realise what my body is going through if I do not feel the pain? When I opted to have the pethidine injection, I knew I'd hit my personal breaking point with tolerating the pain. I'd been awake for hours, I'd been in pain for hours, I was incredibly tired, so tired in fact that I was actually falling asleep in between each contraction, and it was just getting harder and harder to deal with the pain. After getting the injection, which was injected into my left thigh, I almost immediately felt a change. I suddenly felt very spaced out, and to be honest, I was just completely out of it. I was mumbling away, talking to myself, not really sure what the hell was going on, and I struggled to take in what the midwives and doctors were telling me. When it was all over and I'd given birth, I was speaking to my husband about it all, and he was telling me things that I didn't even realise had happened. It was such an out-of-body experience, but it did help me with the pain. And it's great because it works pretty much straight away. And to be honest, I didn't like how spaced out it made me feel because I felt like I'd lost control of my birth a little bit. Midwives and nurses, doctors, they were just doing stuff to me and I was pretty much completely unaware of what was going on. The effects of the injection lasted a good few hours, and as it was starting to wear off, I was very close to delivering my baby girl, so I was unable to have another dose of it, which I was sort of glad about, but obviously at the same time it meant that I could once again feel the pain. I was pushing for a long time, for hours. It's draining, it's exhausting, it can go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. What was interesting about my contractions actually was that they had no rhythm or proper timing to them. They were just completely all over the place, which didn't help with me trying to push because some of my contractions would last a matter of seconds, whereas others would last much longer. For many, contractions get into a certain rhythm and they consistently last a certain length of time, and it was just not like that at all with me. I actually really wanted a water birth, but I was unable to, which was a massive shame, but you just can't predict what's going to happen with labour. So yeah, that's all the pain relief I had when I gave birth. I started with just paracetamols for a long time, then I went on to try gas and air, which made me feel very, very sick. Then I had nothing for a while, but then had the pethidine injection, which wore off during the vital stage of labour. So I did a lot of the hard work without the pain relief anyway. But it's just one of those things. You can plan for labour all you want, but it is unpredictable and things can change within the blink of an eye. After the effects of the injection had completely wore off, I pretty much had no side effects. I was just straight back to normal. I know some people it can make them feel a bit woozy, but I felt completely fine. The only issue that I had after giving birth was the fact that I had to have an episiotomy during the birth. So that had to obviously take time to heal. And on top of that, I lost a lot of blood, but they were nothing to do with the pethidine injection. That was just to do with other factors of my labour. So with that being said, what was your experience with the pethidine injection? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I do hope that you found it interesting. If you did, please make sure to leave this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and I very much hope to see you in my next video. Bye everyone.